This is SportsCenter.
It was.
Cristina, Alexander, Kelsey with you Saturday morning on SportsCenter. Baseball's back with some new rules, college basketball in the home stretch, and it looks like we're in for a wild ride the rest of the NBA season.
Absolutely. The return of the NBA after the All-Star break definitely hasn't disappointed. 40-point games this week and more overtime thrillers, which takes us to the West Coast. And Russell, senior NFL writer Jeremy Fowler joins us now on SportsCenter. I told Jeremy before we were on air, this feels like old times because the last 2 years, yeah, exactly. It's been the same thing with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. It kind of feels like a who will blink first competition. Yep. So where do they stand now? Where do you see that first move coming, Jeremy?
Well, the people I'm talking to believe that the Ravens will eventually place the exclusive. They got to work it out, and there are some unknown variables here.
Yeah, and sometimes what you hope for doesn't necessarily happen as well with Lamar Jackson's case. So Baltimore isn't the only city, of course, with these quarterback concerns. We know that New York, of course, keeping their eye on a certain Aaron Rodgers maybe emerging now from his darkness retreat. So where are they leaning towards?
Well, you see the Jets sweet spot because the franchise tag is only $32 million. The Giants have that in their back pocket. Maybe they can meet in the middle. Yeah,
and it'll be interesting, right? Jets and Giants, they were surprising in the last regular season. We'll see what surprises they'll have now with those quarterback decisions. Jeremy Fowler with the latest. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's dive into this a little bit more with everybody's favorite, Corey Alexander, with us now. And Corey, that was a thriller last night. The guys afterwards from the Kings said, we don't want that game again. I would love to see that game anytime. But on the other side of things, for Russ, they're not able to get the win. But what did you see that could be the upside for this team now with him joining them? Down the stretch, their next test for this new look Clippers team tomorrow at Denver, 10 Eastern on ESPN. And let's stay right there with the Nuggets because they meet the Grizzlies tonight in Memphis. Last time they played, both of these sides were down key players. So what are your expectations for tonight?
Well,
13 games, including Thursday night against the Sixers. And tonight, the primetime matchup on ABC, the Sixers and the East top team, the Celtics. It's going to be an interesting finish in the East, no doubt. Boston has won both of the season's previous games. So, Corey, what does Philly need to do to prove they can compete with the absolute best? Defensive boards, 6 block shots in his first game back after the All-Star break. Corey Alexander, always good to see you, my friend.
Great.
Jeremy Fowler back with us on SportsCenter. We just heard Ed Werder talk about this situation in Dallas being committed, of course, to Dak to extending his contract. But what are you hearing about the Cowboys actually putting pen to paper?
Well, I'm hearing that the Cowboys have at least planted seeds on this. They've said so publicly. They've also acknowledged to Dak privately that they'd like to do.
Dalton Schultz looking to become unrestricted free agents now, and they only have one franchise tag to give out before that March 7th deadline. What are you hearing about the situation?
Well, people I'm talking to around the league believe that Tony Pollard very well could get franchised. Probably not the path right now. They like what he did last year. Got major chemistry with Dak Prescott, so they'd like to keep him, but he's going to have a viable market in free agency, too.
Like I said, what you hope in the NFL doesn't necessarily happen. The Cowboys, though, drafted Jake Ferguson and added Peyton Hendershot as an undrafted free agent in 2022, and they like Sean McKeon, of course. Plus, this is considered a strong tight end class.
It is.
Jeremy Fowler on SportsCenter. Thank you.
SportsCenter, the Cowboys season ended with offensive disappointment and Dak Prescott throwing 2 interceptions against the 49ers in the playoffs. Since then, head coach Mike McCarthy has taken over the offense. He's making big changes, but will this be enough to solve the team's postseason woes? Ed Werder has more. The NBA season is back in action, but the All-Star break is the gift that just keeps on giving. While in Utah, Malika Andrews sat down with the future faces of the NBA, talking with Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, John Morant, and Jason Tatum about their incredible talents on the court. But in part 2 of this interview, we get to know the guys a little off the court with the help of a wheel of questions.
20? Try 60 years.
I feel like I'm watching the Savannah Bananas, and that was like a part of what they do. It wasn't, though. Enjoy college basketball today.